If we don't make some changes, we're all going to die.
Perhaps a little dramatic, but essentially the message scientists want us to hear. Welcome to Global Earth Television, and this week we're going to be looking at how our diets can actually help save the planet. Yes, I'm talking about climate change. We're all talking about climate change. The world is talking about climate change.
We know what we need to do. Travel less, walk instead of taking the car, recycle what we can, use alternative sources of energy for our home, like wind power or solar power. However, one increasingly popular suggestion is to change our diet, to lose meat and turn vegetarian. Big celebs such as Paul McCartney are encouraging us to have veggie days. The city of Ghent in Belgium has made Thursdays Vegetarian Day. But why does it matter what we eat? Unless you've been living in a cave for 10 years, you must have heard about global warming. Our climate fluctuates naturally over a long period, but ever since us humans discovered fire, we've been speeding up the process. This is because of greenhouse gases that are released into the atmosphere with nearly everything we humans like to do. A major one is carbon dioxide, which acts like a duvet over the world, heating us up all nice and cosy. The problem is that our population is booming. You are one of 6.5 billion people living on this planet, and we're set to squeeze in a massive 9.8 billion by 2050. More people equals more greenhouse gas emission equals more climate change. But why on earth would giving up our Sunday roast make any difference? It goes a little something like this.
We cut down the rainforest to make room for the land, to grow the grain, to feed the animals. We cut down the rainforest to make room for land, to rear the animals for us to eat.
If we utilised this land to grow only vegetables for us to eat, we'd use a whole lot less energy, reducing our pesky greenhouse emission. Not only that, but livestock such as cows, sheep and pigs give off their own kind of gas.
Now these, ladies and gentlemen, are our main culprits. Each single cow gives off 120 kilograms of methane gas per year. Now we have around 10 million cows in the UK alone, so quick calculation, that's 1.2 billion kilograms of gas that our cows are letting off each year. That's the equivalent weight of 7,000 blue whales. Pooh!
Methane also gets caught in the atmosphere, except its heating capacity is up to 100 times that of CO2. If we cut that down, we cut global warming by a massive 50%. Problem solved, let's go veggie. But hang on a minute, aren't we forgetting something? We humans have been eating animals since the Stone Age. Haven't we evolved to eat meat?
Well, evolution is a big topic. It's certainly true that if you look at primitive societies now, or for which we have records of in the more recent past, almost all of them get a proportion of their diet from meat or fish or other animal sources. So you could certainly argue that during the process of recent evolution, animal foods have been a part of the diet, therefore maybe we are evolved in some way to sort of naturally eat those foods. If you went back beyond that to the sort of times of the apes, then the situation might be different, little if any animal food. However, I think although this is an interesting argument and can provide sort of clues to nutrition and what is healthy, the only real way to tackle what is healthy for people now is to study the diets of people now. And most of us don't live a primitive life in the Arctic or in the Kalahari Desert. We live in industrialised societies. We don't eat the food that hunter-gatherers ate. We eat something else. And the work that's been done sort of from that angle hasn't shown that there's any particular benefit from eating meat. I think the evolutionary argument is interesting, but it's only part of the story.
What goodness does meat actually give us?
What do we get from meat that we don't get from anything else? Well, in terms of amino acids, we get what is known as high quality protein. In other words, we get protein which is easily digestible and which contains all 20 of the amino acids, in other words, the building blocks of protein.
Ah, protein, something often discussed alongside vegetarianism. But what exactly is it?
Protein is made up of amino acids, which fit together rather like a jigsaw puzzle. Now, protein makes up just about everything in our body. And we need to eat protein in order to remain healthy, because it quite literally is the scaffolding that holds us together. Without it, we will fall apart. Now, meat is a convenient source of protein because it contains all the amino acids that our body can't generate itself. But if we turn vegetarian and we don't eat meat, where are we going to get that protein from?
For example, wheat or beans are deficient in some particular amino acids, so that you will find that wheat, for example, is relatively deficient in one of the essentials called lysine. The way that people have solved that problem in the world culturally is by eating proteins which are complementary, so that if you were, for example, to eat wheat and beans, which are deficient in other things which are present in the wheat protein, together you get a perfect mix.
Good news! We can stay perfectly healthy by combining other sources of protein such as nuts, cereals or dairy products. Some people think vegetarianism is extreme. Can you imagine life without any animal products whatsoever? Cheese, milk, eggs or leather? Eating or using these products means we still need cows and other livestock. To help save the planet, would you become a vegan, or is this a step too far? And can we be healthy eating no animal products?
If people go to a vegan diet, which excludes all animal products, then there is just one vitamin that is not normally found in plant foods, which is vitamin B12. But this is readily available and cheap, and is indeed present in a lot of manufactured foods in the country, such as breakfast cereals and soya milk, and all people can take tablets.
There you have it. Not only could turning veggie help save the planet, but as long as we food combine to eat all the right proteins, it's perfectly healthy for us to remove meat from our diets. So now it's just a moral choice. Can we give up that late night kebab? Thanks for watching Global Earth Television. Next week, I'm going to be investigating our fashion choices and how what we wear can actually help reduce carbon emissions. See you then.